Hey, it's Amanda from the I Ain't Let Nothing Really podcast, and I'm here to tell you about Anchor. No worries, you don't have to pay for it, it's free. There's a creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer, and your podcast will be distributed to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. And it's everything you need in a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. Now, again, at this point, we know each other, right? You know me, I know you, the listener. We're back for another episode. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I know today I am recording on January 17th, 2022. So happy New Year. I know we haven't really been talking since the new year, but I just wanted to give you guys some breathing room to enjoy your families and enjoy your holidays. And ironically, I'm going to name this episode Stop Saying Happy New Year After King Holiday, which is technically today. Shout out to everybody who had the day off. I hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekends, but get your butts up because you got to go to work tomorrow. So let's get started. I want to just recap my holidays. Christmas was amazing. I had a great time with my family. Got some great gifts, and what's crazy? Shout out to my grandmother, right? So, older women, especially our grandmothers in Black culture, they're kind of, bugged out by the ripped jeans, era. I have a pair of ripped jeans that was ripped so much it shows a lot of my kneecap and my thighs. So every time I wear them to my grandmother's house, it's like my grandmother looks at them and say, "Are you cold? You're pretty naked, aren't you?" So shout out to my grandmother. She actually got me a pair of ripped jeans, but the irony is they do have little patches of cloth in them, but they're pretty dope. I've worn them a couple times, so hopefully when I go to the club or something, you know, can wear them again. I mean, they fly. So shout out to grandma for that. And I also enjoyed my New Year's. I didn't spend New Year's with family. I spent it with my friends. So shout out to them. Y'all know who y'all are. Thank you for your support. But it was a crazy day that day because my mom almost ruined my New Year's, y'all. She almost ruined my New Year's. You want to know why? Because I get a text from my brother. Well, yeah, I'm telling all the business. I don't care. I don't care at this point. I get a text from my brother from an assumption that my mother thought she had COVID, so we needed to get tested. And I'm like, oh man, oh no, I don't want my New Year's to be ruined. So I rushed to find somewhere where it did rapid testing. Unfortunately, in my area, either the rapid testings were closing early, and by the time I got to them, they were done, or closing for the day on time, or the last place my brother and I went to, we stood in line for about 45 minutes. And then I guess the carrier for the specimens came and picked up everything. So they couldn't take our specimen. So, shout out to my friend Sherry. Sherry, hi Sherry. She told me that she had a home test for me to take, but I had to get on the expressway. And y'all, I have never, ever driven in on the expressway. I didn't have a reason to because where I live, everything is kind of in arm's reach. I know how to take a back street to get to it, but your girl did it. I jumped on the expressway and I took the home test. I tested negative, thank God. So I was able to enjoy the New Year's with my friends who are like my family, and had a great time. We had alcohol, games, movies, just a lot of great things. And downtown in Chicago, they had like this big fireworks. And unfortunately, from where I was, I can only see a little bit, but it was just still such an amazing night. What do I expect in 2022? To be honest, more work, more projects. The podcast is growing. I do have a surprise for y'all, so I'm going to announce that later in the show. I really, truly hope you guys support it. It's been a little slow, but I am having a great time dealing with it. I just can't wait to sit back for the numbers to grow. Also, I do want to start this podcast off, not with that, But I want to say some rest in peace. We did lose some prolific figures in the entertainment business. Rest in peace, Betty White. She passed away, I think, late December or before the new year. I can't quite remember. But I do remember getting the little news flash on my phone from TMZ. And you know what? I was a little confused because Betty White did an interview with People, and she says, "I'm in great health," and then a week later she was gone. I waited to kind of do this podcast just to see what the cause of deaths were for these public figures. Betty White actually passed away of a stroke. So yeah, rest in peace to her. And I don't know, y'all. It's been a while since she passed away, so I don't know if they had a funeral for her or not, or if she was cremated and they probably spread her ashes somewhere. But just know that she was a wonderful woman, a philanthropist with animals and things like that. So rest in peace to her. Next is rest in peace to Sidney Poitier. He is a prolific Black actor from movies such as Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. Just a lot of great film work. Legend, legend, legend. Rest in peace. Next is James Matume. If you are a hip hop fan, you will probably know his samples like in Biggie. Mariah Carey, I believe, kind of sampled him. Matume made the legendary hit "Juicy Fruit." It was never reported what he passed away of, but may he rest in peace. Lastly, we have Bob Saget. Now, this one kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Bob Saget, who played the legendary Danny Tanner on Full House, he was found dead in his hotel room down in Florida. Now, they already had his funeral. Everybody was there from Full House. Candace Cameron, Bure, Jodie Sweetin, John Stamos, Dave Coulier, Lori Loughlin, all of them. So they did a toxicology report, and it's going to be a handful of weeks till we know what actually made him pass away. But I read a lot of the articles that come out every day about Mr. Saget. Today, the 17th of January, article came out on TMZ saying that he had a family history of heart attacks. He lost, uncles due to heart attacks. His father had a heart attack. So, sometimes people have heart attacks and, it's not explained why. So, may he rest in peace. He was actually buried a couple days ago. So again, they did have his funeral. Now people do ask me, am I gonna have a New Year's resolution? I don't really do them because they're very hard to stick by. And, sometimes people make these outlandish resolutions like the gym one. And, you say, I'm going to go to the gym every day this week, this year. And yet you're on the couch eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream. So I don't really follow them. They're not my thing. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It's not the end of the world. So, yeah. All right. So I watched a couple of a movie and a documentary on the streaming sites that I kind of want to express my opinion on. The first one is Dark Side of the 90s, which is on Hulu. I believe it's still on there, so you can still watch it. And I tried to watch certain episodes of the documentary. It's a multi-episode documentary. I enjoyed a couple of the episodes. If you know me, I'm a hip hop head, so I did enjoy the episode about the East Coast, West Coast, and then they had other episodes about how the internet was, coming up and the era of Beanie Babies and all that stuff. And you know what? I'm tired of y'all making 90s documentaries, to be honest, because I lived it. I remember it. I don't want to remember some parts of it. Beanie Babies were kind of pointless to me. I mean, I have a couple cousins who collect them like crazy. I don't know if they still have them because they're like grown. And one of my cousins is married and she got kids. So she probably gave them to the kids. So, you know, yeah, I think every 90s documentary is becoming the same. This documentary aired on Hulu. Now, there was another documentary similar, and it aired on the National Geographic channel. So when I watch that, it's like I feel like I've seen this before. I know this story. So it was a good documentary, but if you've seen the one on the National Geographic channel, you probably would kind of feel like you've watched it already if you watch it on Hulu. Another movie I checked out was the Tammy Faye Baker Messner movie. If you don't know who Tammy Faye Baker is, or Tammy Faye Messner, she is a televangelist and an actress. If you grew up, I don't know, I don't know the age range of my listeners. So if you grew up in the 70s, um, you would kind of remember them. They kind of started the 700 Club on the TLN and all that stuff. Um, this movie I kind of learned about Tammy Faye. Um, I don't, I didn't grow up in a house where we watched the 700 Club. I just remember watching it, seeing it as channel flipping. But I've seen Tammy Faye on TV a couple times, and I was curious, And what I learned about that movie is that me and Tammy Faye had something in common. Tammy Faye stood by her first husband who treated her like dirt. But let me explain though. If I'm spoiling the movie, you guys could just fast forward it a little bit, but I'm just gonna go through the premise of the beginning of the movie. I don't want to spoil the end. But Tammy Faye met her husband, Mr. Baker, Jim Baker, and she gets with him. And they have no money, right? They have no money, they get their car repossessed, they're living in motels, they're going like place to place to preach and all that stuff. Well, this guy from nowhere said, hey, I work for this TV station in South Carolina somewhere, and come with me and have a show. Long story short, they had their show. They were like religious, children. Um, it was for children, I guess, religion. So sorry, my phone's ringing. um, this is real life, guys. Real life stuff. I'm so sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all love though. It's all love though. So what as I was saying, um, Tammy Faye and her husband, they have the show, and then they, get bigger, and money comes in. So basically, her husband starts treating her like dirt. Her husband is putting money and business ahead of her. Um, and yeah, you know what? And I relate to that because I was with somebody, I thought truly loved me in the beginning, and then money kind of got involved, and then it just kind of got, messy. Tammy Faye Baker was a wonderful, nice woman. This movie portrayed her to be. Unfortunately, she did pass away probably back in like 2007. Like it was kind of the mid to late 2000s she passed away. I remember her being on Larry King, and she looked just so sick, and it was her last interview on TV of all time. And that movie was really good. I understand as a black woman, I never understood that lifestyle. I never understood the 700 Club. But as I watched it, it did not matter. I learned what it was. I learned about her life, and it is a good movie. So check it out. The Tammy Faye Baker movie is on HBO Max. It's about 2 hours long. It was a kind of a lengthy movie, but it is really really good. And speaking of Hulu, the Kardashians are coming back to Hulu. I think they signed like some multi-million dollar deal for them to come to Hulu. Now I think this is a good business deal, but I also think, why did they do this? Now let me explain. Good business deal. Now if you watch the Kardashians on the original episodes on E, you would understand that, you know, they cuss so much you gotta bleep out everything. And I guess on Hulu, when you have a Hulu original series, you can say what you want. You could choose to be bleeped out. But I think that this is gonna be more raw. It's gonna be more raw because if you study TV, cable TV, basic cable like E, you can't show everything. But on this Kardashian show, they're gonna probably show more. It's probably be more raw, but at the same time, it's like we're kind of over the Kardashians, especially with what's going on with Chloe. You know, we know Tristan Thompson cheated on Chloe, had a baby on her, which is the worst thing any man could do on any woman. And then there was an outrage that Chloe Kardashian said the N word with the ER at the end, and or A, I'm not sure which one it was, but she said it, and she's obviously not black, so we'll see how this Kardashian thing ride out. I mean, it could make it or break it because we thought the Kardashians was gonna die down, but it's the Kardashians, man. They're not going nowhere. So also, Atlanta is coming back this year. It's coming back probably in March. I have TV Time app on my phone, so it does say probably more than 50 days. So that's probably March. The series is going to be set in Europe. I'm kind of nervous about that because I'm so used to seeing them in the Atlanta setting. So we'll see how Paperboy and all them set their ways in the new city. So, as y'all know, I am in the podcast industry. Not only do I have my own podcast, I do follow other people's podcasts. And during the Christmas or the holiday break I had from my podcast, I've been listening to some interesting interviews. First, we have Jermaine Dupri. He was on the Rory and Maul interview. And it's crazy because I rarely see Jermaine Dupri give interviews. So I guess now with his new vegan ice cream, which I need sent to me badly, chocolate or cookies and cream, please. Thank you. And I'll do a YouTube video too. I promise. But yeah, he did an interview with Rory and Maul. Interesting interview. I've kind of studied Jermaine Dupri, so it was some information that I learned from before. And also, Bow Wow popped up on the interview. He was kind of drunk, Bow being Bow, I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And another interview that surprised me was Suge Knight was on $1 Million Worth of Game with Wallow and Gilly. And it's crazy because as everyone knows, Suge is serving a 28-year sentence because of the murder of his friend on the set of Straight Outta Compton. Um, I learned some things about Suge during that interview. Um, you know, I don't want to speak too much on Suge because he kind of does scare me, even though he is behind bars. But I'm just really surprised that those two did their interviews. Suge's been gone for some years, and Jermaine is quiet, but also. Jermaine is doing the Janet Jackson documentary, so he has an interview on there. I can't wait to watch that documentary, and I will review that as well. Also, there were rumors of a new Aaliyah album. Now, everyone knows Aaliyah passed away in 2001. So, how will that be done? I heard that there were some vocals being remixed and stuff. Now, if you ask me, I don't want a new Aaliyah album. Aaliyah was a beautiful soul, beautiful woman, very talented, could sing. And what Aaliyah put out before she passed away, I think that should be her legacy. Whenever an artist dies and they put out a new album, I think that that's tampered. And for example, Michael Jackson, right? I love Michael Jackson. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. Michael's from Gary, Indiana, which is about 25 minutes away from my hometown, right? So, the last studio album Michael Jackson put out was Invincible, right? So then he passes away in 2009. The first album that comes out after his passing is This Is It. And the unreleased song on there is This Is It, the orchestrated version and the regular version. That's fine. That was a good song. I still love that song to this day. So then they put out an album, Michael. And I didn't learn this until Michael came out in 2010. It's 2022. So I didn't learn this till about 2020, 2021, 11 years after the fact. Some of those songs were fake. Some of those songs were altered. And I felt ashamed as a Michael Jackson fan because some of them do sound real. So I thankfully got rid of that CD. I didn't feel right having it after I learned that. But I think that when it comes to Aaliyah, I think that they should just leave it as is, unless they have unreleased music that was actually Aaliyah's vocals. That's perfect. But if it's not, and they're gonna have to tweak it and tamper it and all that stuff, mm-mm. Leave it where it is. Leave it where it is. Michael Jackson estate. When are y'all putting out a new album? Because they said Michael had like hella music to a point where they put out albums. I think they signed some sort of like multi-album deal back in like 2011, 2012 when I was like in high school. So if y'all did not fulfill that, I'm still looking for new music with real Michael vocals, please. Real Michael vocals. That's what I'm totally looking for. Now the big reveal. Now we have more to talk about. Don't worry, but I guess I could reveal it now. I have officially launched my new YouTube channel. I'm gonna be posting a lot on there. I'm gonna be posting episodes of Thompson and stuff. You can still find this podcast on your favorite podcast streaming, but you can also find it on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot of. I want to do movie reviews. I want to do TV show reviews. I don't want to do too much because I still want to talk about certain things on this podcast. I want to do, just videos, trying different things, beauty products, all that stuff. So, if you go on YouTube, you can look up my name, Amanda Marie Thompson, AMANDA hyphen MARIETHOMPSON. Like, share, subscribe. I want to get my numbers up. I want this to be a fully functioning channel by the time I guess Thanksgiving comes around, or at least by Easter, I want to be functioning. That way I could just have a multi-platform. I'm building my brand. I'm having a great time. So I truly appreciate it if you, like, share, subscribe. Also, more books are coming this year. I do have some on Amazon for sale. If you look up Meet Angela, AJ Townsend, The Meridian Dream, which was my latest I put out, you could purchase there as well. Now, back to the business. I want to send a huge congratulations to Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They are engaged. I saw the jokes between, Machine Gun Kelly having on that striped shirt with Foot Locker and everything. But congratulations to them. I honestly think they are a strange couple, but they're happy and they're getting married. Um, as y'all know, Megan is kind of BFFs with Kourtney Kardashian, so who knows? They might do a joint wedding. And then they posted a Instagram post about drinking blood and stuff. That's why I think they're a weird couple. But they're a quiet weird couple. You don't see them out and about all the time. I mean, you do like on the Daily Mail, but they don't bother nobody. So, congratulations to them. I know the wedding's going to be very gothic and weird and fun and all that stuff. Um, John Legend. John Legend sold his catalog for his music. And I'm still confused about that because John Legend is very talented. But I'm still kind of mad at him because I always loved the first John Legend album. That's my jam. I play that in my car till this day. I remember when it came out, I had to been about what? It came out in like 2004, 2005. I was like 8 or 10 years old. I'm still bumping that now. But he sold it. And I never read why, but it's still so confusing because he's a young artist. Maybe he's, it's just maybe he's not going to record any more music. Maybe, it has been a pandemic and it does hit people, everyone. I mean, the famous people are not exempt from it, so probably he needed the cash. But y'all know I'm not in the music industry at all, but I always hear these artists rap that don't ever give up your masters. Don't ever give up your masters. But then again, you have these artists that are just selling it left and right. I think, who was it? Bruce Springsteen or somebody sold their masters. It's like, it's you. Why are you selling your masters? Now, Tina Turner, on the other hand, she sold her like catalog and everything. But I understand because she's getting older. She's like, what, 80, almost 80 years old. She wants to live out her final, I don't want to say final years, but she wants to live out her final time on this earth privately, comfortably. So I totally understand that. But John Legend, I don't understand that. Maybe, he could buy it back one day. But I mean, come on, John, really? Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa, I guess that's how you say it. They're getting a divorce. So they're one of them couples that have been together for like 1,000 years, and they're getting a divorce because they've been married for like maybe 2 to 4 years. I would say that marriage is not for everybody. If you are a long-time couple and you're contemplating getting married, if you don't want to do it, don't fix it if it ain't broke. But um ever since the pandemic, I guess everybody's been kind of like falling out and breaking up because you're technically stuck in the house with this person or, the kids, and it just kind of gets crazy. But it's Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet at the same time. Like, you see them out on red carpets, they look good. Jason Momoa, he in like freaking Game of Thrones or whatever. He got the big muscles and he's like, I'm Jason. So I just, maybe we will just never find out why they get divorced. I know they have young children. Yeah, they got young kids, so I hope that they can like co-parent peacefully and things like that. And lastly, for this section of news, the new coronavirus has hit, or it's coming up, or a new variant. It is called Flurona. Flurona sounds weird, right? My problem with these new variants is I personally think it's people bringing it over here when they travel or whatever. But do I think we need to go into another lockdown? Yes, but we have to think about the ones who can't go into a lockdown. And I don't know what the CDC and all of Joe Biden and all them, I don't know what they're doing at this point. So just remember, get tested frequently, wear your mask. If you choose to, I'm not forcing nobody. If you choose to, get vaccinated so it could slow down the spread of this horrible, horrible virus. We are losing people still. I mean, if you turn on CNN, they still got the border with how many new cases and how many deaths and stuff. So, can we just be considerate, please? Because if we be more considerate, if we do what we need to do, wash our hands, be more a little bit cleaner, we wouldn't have these crazy variants, right? Right. All right. And I also want to talk about Young Dolph. They did find the three suspects. They have been arrested. They are in U.S. Marshal protective custody. One of the killers was found in Indiana. I'm still curious of what part of Indiana, though, because I know Tennessee is kind of close to Indiana. So they're all, in custody. Also, speaking of arrests, Pooh Shiesty is looking at 8 years in prison instead of life. I believe he took a plea in his shooting or murder case, and looks like we will see Pooh in 2030, if or earlier if he is released on good behavior. Also, Lori Lightfoot. This was kind of old news. I'm not sure if she still is, but she was tested positive for coronavirus. Now, the city is city of Chicago, of course, is kind of beefing with Lori Lightfoot. Now, this is a disclaimer. I am not a resident of the city. I live in the outskirts, but she's not my mayor, but this is just my opinion. Back about a few weeks ago, CPS and the union and the teachers, they voted to have the students work in remote learning. Now, if I were to vote in that situation, I would vote for remote learning as well. But Lori Lightfoot voted against it. So they kind of canceled classes for like 3 days. It was wild. I mean, I'm very grateful that I grew up in the suburbs and we didn't have to go through this. Well, there wasn't a pandemic when I was like 10 years old or whatever, but I still think Lori Lightfoot was in the wrong. If you want to protect the children, like you say you do, keep them home and keep the virus from spreading in the schools. Now, I do understand, parents that who are essential workers and they have to go to work. Okay. I mean, you could, like, my idea is you could still open the schools and have like, little centers and stuff, but safely for the children. But for those whose parents cannot, work from home or cannot keep them home. But CPS, if you're from Chicago, The CPS is a big school district, so you know you're not protecting the children like you say you are just by doing this, and you turned your back on the citizens. So I think Lori Lightfoot is going to be a one-term mayor. I understand she did make history. She's the second black mayor, first gay mayor, and all that stuff. You're not doing your job right. So, in my opinion. So, sorry, Lori Lightfoot. Sorry. Kim and Kanye, they're getting on my nerves. um, Kanye got a new girlfriend, Kate, what's her face? I'm not really invested in these people. I just have to report it. But Kim is with Pete, and recently they had some drama where Kanye went on Instagram and said, "Happy birthday to my daughter. I can't be at your birthday party because, no one would tell me the address," and all that weak shit. Now, people are mainly mainstream media are probably out there thinking, man, Kanye is off his rockers. Let me tell you something as a black woman. Now, my parents never did this because they are a little older, but I've seen this stuff happen with like other kids' parents and on TV and Maury and stuff. It's pretty normal for me as a black person to see that someone's going to go on Instagram and say, well, my baby mama ain't letting me see the kids and X, Y, and Z and blah, blah, blah. I see this shit on Facebook all day, every day. It ain't nothing new, okay? But luckily, they did let Kanye come to the party. Rumor has it Travis Scott or Kylie or somebody text the man the address, and he went to the party. The pictures were very beautiful. He was playing with the little girl and just having a good time. But y'all don't freak out. I see this shit happen all the time on YouTube or like on Facebook, sometimes Instagram, sometimes Twitter. It's just baby mama, baby daddy drama. Don't be scared, y'all. Don't be scared. Um, Ari Fletcher. Ari Fletcher had her Fenty Beauty, I think it was Fenty Beauty. Something with Fenty. She had her endorsement taken away. I have a problem with Ari Fletcher, and I'm not scared to admit this. Now, I've never met the woman in my life. But the reason why I have a problem with her, and I know this is going to sound really bad, and Ari, please forgive me if this gets to you, but you just have to understand I was in a messed up relationship where my ex would strip me down and try to build me into Ari. And that's why I kind of look at her sideways now. Um, what Ari did, before I get into my insecurities about Miss Fletcher, Ari went on Instagram Live and she talked about domestic violence in a light that it should not have been talked about. Obviously Brianna has been a victim of domestic violence due to Chris Brown, so of course she had every right to take that away. Now, my grievances with Miss Fletcher is, I believe because I'll admit I'm very insecure because of what my ex tried to strip me and build me to become. I always think that the guys I like a woman like her, they don't like me. So every time I see a woman on like Ari showing her butt and all that stuff on Instagram, it's just I just never strive to be like that. And I could just remember my ex just telling me to be like that or be like this person or be like that. And again, I've never met her, but it's just the looks kind of make me insecure. That's okay. So yeah, that happened. And next time you go on Instagram Live, just choose your words right or don't talk about it at all. Keep it to yourself or don't even have those type of thoughts. How's that? So yeah. I want to also send my prayers. I'm going to move on from that too. It's just, yeah. K Slay and Kid Capri, DJ K Slay and DJ Kid Capri. I send my thoughts to you guys. They are battling COVID. For K Slay, I heard that he is breathing on his own. So hopefully he will be home very soon. By the time this episode comes out, if not, he is already home. I heard that Kid Capri has COVID. I didn't hear a lot about an update, but I am thinking about him as well. And I do want to end this with TV shows to watch out for. I did not do this in the beginning, but TV shows to watch out for is Euphoria is out right now. We are on the second episode last night. Today is Monday. How do I think about it so far? In my mind, every 5 minutes, I'm saying, hey, yo, You know, I'm saying Ayo every 5 minutes. It's wild, but I don't remember the first season being as wild. I think the first season was mild compared to this one, but it's still very good. Still the same characters. So hopefully we get a season 3 out of this. Ozark will be coming back. I think next week. So it could be or this week. I'm sorry. It'll be streamed. It'll come out this week. If you live in Illinois in the Midwest, it will come out at 2 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. So unfortunately, I will not be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I will be watching that night with my popcorn and snacks. And lastly, the Portia show. Portia had her own spinoff on Bravo with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think Bravo could have kept that one to themselves. Portia kind of embarrassed herself with this one. Yeah, Portia. Yeah, don't do that again, and please don't take that man to court. He is a great father, so don't do that. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. That's my time. I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed speaking to you guys. Um, I know this has been 2 weeks in the making. I hope you guys really enjoy this one. Again, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel. I'm going to post more content. And again, you can find episodes of Thompson and stuff on the channel. I will continue to upload old episodes, but you can still find them on any podcast platform. And please, again, purchase a book on Amazon. You can look up my name, Amanda M. Thompson. Meridian Dream, Meet Angela, AJ Townsend, all available now. And please follow me on social media. My Instagram is a-marie son of Tom. You can also follow the official podcast podcast page, Thompson and Stuff podcast official. You can follow me on Twitter, a-marie son t. And yeah, I hope you guys be safe out there. Stay warm. Georgia, South Carolina, all the southern states. Stay warm, stay safe. The snow will be gone one day. Y'all got to get y'all salt, your shovels, all that stuff. But y'all gonna be all right. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.